I now pronounce you husband and wife.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's all right, Mrs. Pringle. Mrs. Reynolds was just leaving.
Oh, but I thought...
I'm afraid you're the one who'll be leaving.
Mrs. Reynolds, the reporter is waiting for your comments on the wedding.
What reporter?
Seems Mr. Dwyer had a sudden change of heart. I want this mess cleaned up now. Oh, and Joan, I want Julie Egbert's transfer papers on my desk by the time I get back.
You lost your marbles? What's all this secret powder ball? It was in Roach's locker. So much for the flu theory. The bloody little idiot. Well, Mel's put it in her locker. That'll give us time to think about what to do. Yeah, that's easy. We'll wait till Rick gets out of the pound and tell her. She'll go through those buggers like a hurricane through a tin shed.
Will you take care of yourself?
Yeah.
Don't you forget about Christmas dinner,
Come on, you lot, get a move on. Don't want Rita thinking we're a pack of bludgers when she lobs. You know how grumpy she gets after a night in the pound.
I don't know who you think you're fooling, Lexi Patterson, but it isn't me.
What do you mean?
When my best friend got married and went away, I sewed myself an entire new wardrobe in the space of a week. We'll be seeing plenty more of each other.
Cut it out, would you? You had me turned on the waterworks again.
There's nothing wrong with that. I mean, one of the things I enjoyed most about yesterday at the wedding.
Can't you talk about anything except that bloody wedding? If you ask me, the whole thing sucked. Put a sock in it, Roach.
Look, it was one of those love affairs of the 40s. Gable and Lombard, Bogart and Bacall.
Abbott and Costello. I have just about had a gutful of you. Well, so have I, so you can all go and get stuffed. Where the hell do you think you're
Lexi.
going?
She probably needs some space.
Blake will have all the space she likes if she keeps doing business with Maxwell and Williams. I reckon we should have fronted him.
For a start, we're not even sure that it was Kath that sold it.
Oh, who else, Nan?
And secondly, we should let Top Dog deal with it. I mean, you said so yourself.
So that was then, this is now. Look, the longer we leave it, the more people Maxwell's going to drag over to her side. I'm doing something about it.
Wait until Top Dog gets back.
If Rita was here, she'd okay it. Lexi! Stop worrying, I'm just going to talk to her. Oh.
G'day. Listen, you don't reckon you could get me any more of that Coke, do you?
Oh, sure. Here. Get this back to me with your autograph on it, and Bob's your uncle. You must have had some party last night.
No. Some mongrel knocked off my stash.
That's why you've been biting everyone's head off this morning. Any ideas who?
It's got me stuffed.
Yeah, well, she wasn't in the pound. My money'd go on Rita.
Take it easy. God, Rita's a mate. She wouldn't do that.
Bull! The wimp handyman got you and told her a whole lot of crud about Coke being no good for you.
Yeah.
So she bans it.
But it still doesn't mean she'd nick it.
She'll do anything to make sure she gets her own way.
Look, me and her go way back. Sure, she'd hassle me about it, but she wouldn't go that far.
She'll go further if she has to. She's dead set against anyone having any real fun.
Well, she better not try that crap with me. Look, being Top Dog's one thing, but telling me how to get my kicks is something else. Look, I've got to go. Give you this on the way back, eh?
Well, he's convinced he's at death's door and the whole trip will have to be cancelled. Poor Joyce is at a wit's end.
I don't blame her. But at least between nursing a sick husband and packing for the trip, she shouldn't have any trouble sleeping on the plane.
Oh, we're getting the usual whinges from the women, too. There's no chance of the fill-in chef starting earlier, is there?
Not available. Which reminds me, how's Marty getting on with his job hunting?
Well, he's still looking. He isn't at all depressed about it. If it were me, I'd be suicidal by now.
Hasn't been that long.
Oh, true.
Well, when you let those two out of solitary, make sure they understand I meant what I said yesterday.
Will do. Yesterday's logs, Governor, and this morning's inter-office mail. Anything to go back to reception?
Mountains of files. Those over there on the desk and up there on the cabinet.
Oh, good.
At last, this should be the list of trainee officers we're expecting.
Could do with a few extra bobbies. Usually more of a hindrance for that first week until they find their feet. Anything else?
No, that's a lot, thank you.
G'day. What are you doing?
Sleeping.
Right.
You won't tell me, will you?
'Cause you don't sleep on top of the bed.
I do, but when I get tired of mopping, I'll sleep under it.
Oh, right. You're on cleaning then?
Yeah, you won't tell me, will you?
Oh, of course not. Look, but I just saw the freak in the corridor, and if she finds you're not out there mopping, you're going to get into dreadful trouble.
Oh, yeah, you're right. You promise you won't tell me?
Oh, of course not. I sleep under the bed all the time. Hey, look, maybe you ought to go round the corner, 'cause that way she won't guess where you've been.
Oh, thanks, Lex.
Oh, no worries. See ya. Love it.
Oh, what do you know? If it isn't the sisters Green. Shut up, Connors. Now, against the wall, the four of you. Yesterday's exhibition was one of the most thoughtless displays I've seen for a long time. It nearly cost Julie Egbert her chance to get married. Now, any more trouble between you leaves the governor with very few options, including transfer to another prison. Now, is that clear?
Yes, Mrs. Miller.
Well, as long as Maxwell understands,
No,
it shouldn't
Connors.
be an... As long as you understand. And with the reputation you've earned for yourself in here, you'd probably be the first to go. Now, get a move on, the lot of you. Very well, we'll see what we can do for you. Thank you.
I have to go out for a while. I shouldn't be long. Any trouble with Connors and Maxwell?
No, there's certainly no love lost between them, Connors particularly. I mean, she just won't listen. I'll check them again when I go my rounds.
Right. See you later.
Where can we get in touch with you if we need you?
Well, there's no phone, unfortunately. I'll phone in.
Nothing wrong, is there? Dan?
No, he's fine. Giving the physios hell, as a matter of fact. I shouldn't be long.
Wentworth Detention Centre.
After all that rushing and leaving the poor girl in a ruined wedding dress, we finally got her married.
But if the minister was late, how come all the panicking?
It wasn't us so much as Mrs. Reynolds and Mrs. Morris. Apparently there was some sort of kerfuffle going on. Something to do with Joan telling Steve she was governor. Julie told us about it this morning.
The freak is governor. I'm moving.
Apparently she was misled somehow by the minister.
Hey? Well, wasn't he supposed to be marrying Steve and Julie?
Minister, the government minister.
Doesn't matter anyway. Still missed out on seeing them get hitched.
I wouldn't have missed it for the world. Actually, it was a lot of fun. Except for this morning when the two of them had to say goodbye to one another.
Yeah, we heard you all singing out to her when she went. Well, come on, you lot, we got work to do. Speaking of which, we're a couple light, aren't we? Who's Mrs.?
Oh, Roach and Lexi. Top Dog, I think we've got some problems with Roach. We discovered Mel with some cocaine yesterday. She found it by accident in the back of one of the toys that Roach brought down from the workshop.
What did Roach have to say for herself?
Well, nothing as yet. We thought you might want to handle it.
Oh, bloody handle it, all right. Maxwell and Williams, you reckon? It's gotta be. She explains how they're keeping their muscle on side for starters.
Not going to thump him, are you? Not after what Mrs. M said this morning.
No, but I'm bloody gonna sort them out. After I've sorted Roach out.
Well, before you do, I think you better check it with Lexi first. Well, she got all steamed up after Roach took the skip out and said she was going to do something about it.
Bloody hell!
G'day!
What have you been up to?
Oh, well, I'm real pleased to see you, too.
Laurie just told us about Roach and how you've decided to play the heavy. What's going on?
It's all fixed. Grab the stash, chucks it through the security gates. When the screws find it, they'll do a cell search. Maxwell and Williams will lose the lot. Clever little bugger, aren't I?
Bloody little idiot, more like. You better hope you can get that stuff back before the screws find it, otherwise you're going to take a big dip in the popularity stakes.
All right, so she might not risk thumping us. But after what we did to Egbert, she's going to get back at us somehow. So we get him first.
How?
By sicking Looney onto her.
No, I've told you before, we're not going to use
Just
Mel
hear
for
me
that.
out. Connors is the only thing that keeps that lot together. We knock her off and we're on top. And the only one who can do that's Jonesy.
No.
Look, it's got to happen sometime. And with the governor down on Connors the way she is, the best time's now.
I tell you, business is booming. And I reckon I might have got Waters on side too. She's bought 2 lots so far, and you should have heard her sound off about Connors when I stirred her over the coke van.
What did she say?
That she wasn't going to take any crud if Rita started getting heavy with her. Should have seen her. She was real dark.
Good work. It's up to all of us to keep working on her. If we can undermine Connor's support enough, we won't need a direct confrontation.
Well, I thought they would have got slack after the last cell search.
Even if they have, they're still using the same hiding place. It doesn't matter. The screws still won't find them. What about the girls? They nick a tin of fruit or something. The screws aren't going to say, oh, it doesn't matter. We just... Oh, bloody hell. It's miles away.
Okay, I said I was sorry. I got all steamed up and didn't think.
You never bloody do. Well, hurry up, I haven't got all day.
I'm hurrying, all right.
Next time, do us a favour. Use your brain. Give it to you, runt.
How do you reckon they're getting the dough from?
Stuffed if I know. Just going to have to keep an eye on them. What are you doing?
Well, we're just...
Oh, it's you. You keep away from Cass. She's me mate.
Jeez, I can't get away from her.
Oh, never mind her. Just keep your eyes peeled for the screws.
You got it. Oh, beauty.
Let's go.
Girl said you want to have a talk to me.
Yeah. I'm told you've been buying coke.
What of it?
Well, for a start, it's bloody stupid. You know what that stuff does to you.
Yeah. It makes me feel good.
While you're on it. But after it wears off, you end up lower than you were before. So you take a bit more to get back up and the whole thing starts all over again. It's a bloody merry-go-round. You saw what happened to Bongo.
Save it, Reed. Look, I know what I'm doing. It's none of your bloody business anyway.
It's my business if it affects the gang.
It's got nothing to do with the bloody gang.
Wasn't born yesterday, Roach. I know who's supplying it. It's the same 2 bitches who tried to stuff up Julie's wedding. You buy stuff off them, you're going against the gang.
Come on, Reed. It's just a bit of coke.
You're leaving me nowhere to go, Roach. No, I'm telling you for the last time, no coke.
Get stuffed. Look, I've had a gut full of people telling me what to do in here, and I'm not going to cop it from you.
I've never had to smack one of the warriors into line before. I'd hate you to be the first.
Then stop telling me what to do.
You're determined not to listen, aren't you?
38, 39, 40. Spread those legs, Harris. Keep it going, people. Don't slow down. 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50. Okay, people, spinal twist. Double time, 20 of them. Go. 1. Oh, come on. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Keep it up, come on. 17, 18, 19, 20. Okay, that's all. Everyone, take a break.
Mrs. Reynolds, what are you doing here?
I was about to ask you the same question.
Mum doesn't know, does she?
No, she doesn't. That's why I'm here. Why haven't you told her?
I knew she wouldn't be keen on the idea, especially after what happened to Dad. So I thought I'd finish my training first on the basis of what she doesn't know she won't worry about.
And if you wanted to keep it a secret, why did you move in with her?
Well, I heard a couple of the instructors talking about what was happening at Wentworth. Mum getting demoted. So I pretended I'd only just left the Navy and needed somewhere to stay so I could help her over it.
Glad you did. She needed someone. Tell me, why leave the Navy to become a prison officer?
Time for a change. I don't suppose you got a minute for lunch? I'd like to hear the real version about how Mum's been coping.
As long as you don't expect me to part with too many secrets.
Give us a few minutes for a quick shower and I'll meet you for lunch.
You have got to be joking. I wouldn't even feed that to the freak.
You'd cop life if you did.
Yeah, well, I hope who's ever coming in to replace Merv's better cooks than you lot.
All for Lexi. I'm sure it'll be lovely.
Hey, look. I thought it was about time you and me had a chat. Alone. I told you to leave, Cattle.
All right, Mel. You go and finish your lunch with Janet. I'll be all right.
Well, I'll be watching you. You're bringing in hard drugs. I want it stopped.
You sound like you're backing down.
I'm worried about the girls. That stuff
You're
can
worried
really
about
just...
losing control. After all, what sort of top dog has the screws just waiting for her to put a foot out of line?
One who's tough enough to stand up to him.
I
and anyone
know
else-
how tough you are. You made a good job of Roach, didn't you? She must be all of half your size. How many more gang members are you prepared to beat up just because they won't toe the line?
Look, all I'm asking is that you cool it with a heavy dope. In a place like this, that stuff's suicide.
No.
I'd think twice about that if I were you.
I've told you what my answer is.
And if you wish like hell it'd have been yes.
Beat me up? I don't think even you'd be stupid enough to do that, not with the governor just waiting for an excuse to transfer you.
Wentworth, you're kidding.
The memo came through this morning.
Damn. Sorry. Nothing personal. It's just that I wanted to get through training as Marty Jackson, not Meg Morris's son.
Is that because you don't want favouritism or because you don't want comparisons?
Favouritism. If I'm going to make it, it's got to be because I earned it.
Look, I'm sorry if this sounds a bit blunt, but I am worried about having a mother and son together on the staff, to the point where I've contacted the department to see if they can make a late change to the postings.
And?
Well, they're considering it, but I got the distinct impression they weren't mad keen on the extra paperwork.
Talk about rotten timing. As if Mum hasn't got enough on her plate without having to worry about me.
I'm sure she'll be fine. I'm also sure it'd be better if she heard it from you.
I've been meaning to tell her, just waiting for the right moment. Guess this is it, eh? Well, I have to get going. Thanks for taking time out to come and see me. I appreciate it, and what you've done for Mum. Well, look forward to working with you.
Bye, Marty.
Relying on that stuff to get you through in here is crazy. You're going to get hooked on it. And that's when that Maxwell bitch can get her claws into you.
You and Maxwell are so bloody worried about who's going to end up on top. You don't give a stuff about the rest of us. This place is getting to me, Reed. I feel like I've been in here a year already.
Well, it gets to all of us, kid. But there are other ways of keeping on top of it. That's one of the reasons the gang's here.
So where's the gang when Lurch is snoring so bloody much I can't get to sleep? And all I can do is lie there and think about how much I'm missing Bong. I hate this bloody hole. I mean, look at us now. The gang's all here. We're having a wonderful bloody time, aren't we?
You're starting to sound like you want to give the gang the flick.
Look, all I'm saying is that this place is driving me crazy. And if the gang can't keep me happy, I know what can and where I can get it. And it doesn't matter how much you thump me, you're not going to stop me.
Hello, Rose.
What are you doing
The power of positive thinking has triumphed. I'm feeling fine. Sister Hall was amazed at my recovery.
Sure, you should be up and about. You're looking awfully pale to me.
Don't you dare wish me back into a hospital bed. I've just spent half the morning convincing Sister Hall that I'm well enough and I'm fit enough for light duties.
What the hell for?
Because I am bored to tears up there with nothing to do. Now, who's going to tell me about the wedding?
Oh,
it was a bloody disaster. This promises to be very interesting. Go on.
Well, it did get off to a shaky start.
What you been up to? Mr. Cosmo hasn't been trying to get you in one of them laser things, has he? You'd have to bam him if he did. I'd help you if you like. And we go.
Where did you get that?
I found it.
Where?
Just around.
Give us it, it's mine. He must have been the one that nicked the stuff from in here.
Hey?
The little silver packet. You were the one, weren't you?
Oh, no. Yeah, sorta. It was plutonium to make him strong. Can't I have him back? I won't bust him, honest.
Is that right?
Yeah, he's protecting us from Captain Cosmo.
Well, not no more he's not. From now on, you leave my bloody stuff alone, you stupid bloody loony.
What did you call me?
What you are, a loony.
I hate that name! No, you stop it! Leave her alone right now!
What's going on? She nicked something off me.
I never. I found it. She called me that name.
I'm sure she didn't mean to. Did you, Roach?
No, I didn't mean it.
Then why'd you say it then?
Sometimes people say things they don't mean when they get upset. Now, I don't want you hurting Roach again. She's a friend of ours.
Save it. Look, I'll do business with you, but that's as far as it goes.
She doesn't act like a friend.
She will.
Truth, Nance, this better be bloody worth it.
Yeah, how come you couldn't just tell us in the rec room?
Just shut up, you two, and let it get on.
Lexi, I think you better keep knit.
Bloody hell.
Now, I've done something extremely stupid, but before Julie left, she and I worked out a plan that's going to make up for it. Now, before I tell you what it is, I want your word of honour you'll go along with it. And you won't go off half-cocked with your own ideas.
Yeah, sure.
What is it?
I want your word of honour first, Rita.
Well, knowing you, it'll probably be something like baking the freak a birthday cake.
Not exactly.
Oh, come on, Reet. Let's just hear what she has to say.
Okay, you got it.
You girls may not know it, but you just lit the fuse to a very explosive time bomb.
Well, she's a bloody fool. If you'd have stuffed up my parole, I'd damn well throttle you, not forgive you.
Go easy, Lex. It was a dumb thing to do.
Dumb? Even you're not stupid enough to do something like that.
Don't you bloody talk to me.
Shut up! The damage has been done. There's no point in bitching about it. Now, all we got to do is figure out a way to get a message to the boys.
No. You promise, Rita.
You can't hold me to that. Not after what you just told us.
I can and I will. And if your word doesn't mean anything, you've got no right to be top dog. Now, I told you I've got a plan. And I expect you all to keep your word to help me carry it out.
So what is it?
Well, we keep on letting Miss Ferguson read the diary, but we make false entries. Now, this is what I wrote when I was in hospital with Julie. The women are up to something. Whatever it is this time, they're going to great lengths to hide it from me. All I've been able to find out is it'll take some time to organise.
Hey, yeah. We suck her in. Then we can set her up any way we want.
Exactly.
Is that what you mean about lighting a fuse to a time bomb?
What do you think, Rita?
You got me interested. What do you got planned for the next entry?
Oh, you haven't seen Joan in your travels, have you?
No, I've only just got back. Anything I can help you with?
Oh, she asked me to make up a roster for the 3 trainees we're getting. All I need now is their names, and then I'll run it off before I go.
Leave it with me. I'll track her down.
Oh, well, thanks. I'll see you tomorrow.
Bye.
Ah, there you are. Quite a few messages for you. I've also left a copy of the memo I'll be giving to the replacement cook when he arrives. We'll put a stop to the pilfering in the kitchen once and for all.
Really?
Of course, it should all be computerised, but if that form's filled out each time an item of food is used, then it should do the trick.
I'm not going to risk losing a chef the calibre of Mervyn by having him come back from his holidays to this. It's virtually a daily stock take. He works to a tight enough schedule as it is.
Frankly, that's debatable. But the fact remains that this will increase our cost efficiency, and there is no excuse for not implementing it.
Apparently, you need to be reminded of who's running this prison. I'll let you tear it up, and in future you'll discuss anything like this with me before you start sending out memos. Likewise, yesterday's effort of phoning the minister without my knowledge or consent is not to happen again. Is that clear, Miss Ferguson?
Yes, Governor. If that's all, I'll get on with my rounds.
There is one more thing. Staff rostering is a responsibility of the Deputy Governor. Is there any reason why Mrs. Morris has been given this job?
She had nothing else to do and I was busy. It won't happen again.
Good. Here are the names of the trainee officers who've been posted to us. That'll be all.
Reckon it's time for your walkabout, Roach. Skip.
What are you talking about? Most of it's already been picked up.
Then get the rest. All right, everyone, brace yourselves. Lex, you take the door. The rest of you ready to snap to it when Lex gives the nod.
You're cutting a fine with Roach, aren't you? The freak will be here any minute.
What's the matter with Roach? She's as quiet as a mouse.
She's been buying coke off Maxwell. That's why I sent her out.
Kath Maxwell selling cocaine?
That's how she's been buying the hardware and the muscle, and now she's getting to be own brother's girlfriend.
Well, can't you talk to her?
Already have.
That's why we can't risk her being in on the scam in case she blabs to Maxwell.
Yeah, well, from what she was saying at lunchtime, I'm not sure whose bloody side she's on.
Oh, well, she's part of the gang, and I know how I felt when I was excluded.
Yeah, well, I reckon we're going to lose her completely unless we come up with something to pick her up. She's letting this place get to her. That's why she's going for the coke.
We'll bring her in on this.
No, it's
It's like Lexi said, she might be better.
Well, how about the video equipment, Mel? We could use it for that idea we had about a documentary on life inside.
Yeah. Well, I was thinking, well, we could do one of them hidden camera shows, you know. Maybe try that wallet on a string trick I saw once.
Oh,
Well, I thought it was funny.
Hey, how about we get Laurie to do home decorating lessons? Might stop her turning the bloody dorm into something out of Grimm's fairy tale.
How about you just shut up and keep watching?
Hey, I know. A weightlifting competition. Hey, maybe we get that Tony bloke to take it. Boy, what a hunk he was.
Settle down. We've got a job to do, remember?
She's coming. All right, everyone, but don't overdo it. And no ad-libbing. OK, Nancy, you're on.
I don't think you should go through with this idea of yours, Rita. If the officers found
Well, it's
out...
got nothing to do with you, Nancy. Pipe down.
But a mass escape...
Oh, come on, Nance, I told you about that this morning.
I didn't like the idea then. It's far too dangerous.
Well, what do you reckon, Lurch? Is anyone going to get hurt?
No way. I've really done my homework this time, and everyone will be safe so long as they do what they're told.
But what about the women who have to create the diversion? There'll be terrible trouble once the officers find out.
Now, listen, Nancy, I've made up my mind and we're going through with it. Now, I'm warning you. You do anything to try and stop this, you'll be in big trouble.
Oh, that's telling her right.
You know, why doesn't everyone shut up and get on with what you're doing? We don't want to blow it.
Who's on skip?
Roach?
Where's Wilkinson?
Well, Mrs. Slattery's got her hump and boxes in the storeroom. Taken off like a cat in a kennel. Let's get after her and see where she goes.
I was shocked to learn the women are making a bomb. This will be exploded against the fence during tomorrow morning's special recreation period, while the women create a diversion. Rita and some of her friends hope to escape through it. I only hope I can convince them all of the danger and stupidity of such a foolhardy idea.
Hey, she fell for it. She went straight there without even seeing
You're a genius,
Gee, I wish I'd been there to see her face when she read the bit about them.
What on earth's going on in here?
I think we've got ourselves a bit of a problem, girls.
No problem. Just don't tell her. No offence, Laurie.
Well, use your head, Lex. We're going to have to make the bloody thing in your cell.
Aye?
Well, with the freak popping in every 5 minutes to check Nancy's diary, we can't very well make a bomb in ours, can we?
Yeah, I suppose not, huh? You're not serious about making a bomb, surely? Oh, come on, we just found a way of sticking it up the freak. Using a bomb?
What she means is we found a way of showing Miss Ferguson that we won't be
Can you
walked
just hang
over.
on a minute? I know none of you have a very high regard for her.
She's a
But she's
prime
bloody
bitch. Yeah, you don't know what she's like.
You might think you do, but you're wrong. Well, when I first met her up in Queensland, I mean, she was a hard officer. But she was fair and decent.
Oh,
Freak
Betty,
fashion.
never
Come
been
off
that
it.
guy.
I can't believe that she's changed all that much. Certainly not enough to justify what you've got planned for her.
We're not going to hurt her, honestly.
Not physically, anyway.
Just take her 6 months to get her tail out from between her legs, that's all.
Look, the point is, we've got a way to get back at the freak without hurting her for buggering up Julie's parole. Now, we want your word that you're not going to blow the whistle on us.
Oh, come on, Laurie, you'll die laughing when you find out what it is honest. Well, if you're absolutely certain that she's not going to get hurt...
Sure,
How many times do we have to tell you? All right, I promise.
Good one, Laurie.
Oh, talk about egg on the freak's face!
Well, obviously your little stint in solitary didn't affect business.
No reason why it should have. My girls know what to do.
Yeah. Have they heard anything about some sort of explosive device, a bomb being made?
Here in the prison?
Have they heard anything?
No, nothing at all.
Yeah, well, do what you can to find out. It's happening, and Connors is behind it. I want information, fast.
What's she going to do with a bomb?
Don't worry, it's not for you. Word is she's going to try to escape.
Well, why not just tell the governor and search the place?
I don't like prisoners telling me my job, Maxwell, even if they are working
But
for
this'll
me.
be all she needs to transfer Connors out of here.
And let Reynolds get all the credit. You really are an amateur, aren't you? Stick to your selling and we'll get along just fine. And if you do hear anything, don't waste time in letting me know.
I'm home.
How was the job hunting?
Oh, not all this highbrow stuff again. You're ruining my ear for real music. Rock and roll.
I'm surprised your ear isn't already ruined with all the crashing and banging that goes on with your music. I mean, you can't even hear a melody through yours.
Someone's frisky. You had a good day.
Passable. How was yours?
Passable's a definite improvement.
Well, let's just say marginal. But do we have to talk about me? I'm sure yours was far more interesting.
Yeah, it was certainly that.
Oh? Have you got something to tell me?
Yeah. As a matter of fact, I have, Mum.
Look, I still don't see how she's going to get him out without the whole place knowing about it.
She said she'll do it, so she'll do it.
Well, how is she going to fit him in here? I mean, Lorna is not exactly the smartest chick in the joint.
Will you stop your whinging? It's going to be... Hey, Lurch, how did you go?
Oh, Slack's nearly sprung me. All I could get was some paint.
Well, what am I going to use for a brush?
Well, what about a brush? Now you can see no one's going to get hurt. What do you reckon?
I think you're all awful.
Good one,
Very
Lurch.
clever.
See, it doesn't matter if you've known her 30 years. She's still a screw. It's us and them. Oh, it's going to be fantastic, eh, girl?
Jeez, I can't wait.
She's going to be madder in a cop at Bathurst and she won't be able to do a bloody thing about it.
I still don't know how you can be so sure that she's not going to tell the governor.
Because she's a glory hunter.
Yeah, if she was going to tell Reno, she would have already done it by now and we'd be up to our ears in cell searches.
Believe me, sister, she's going to leave it to the last possible moment so she can take the credit for catching us red-handed. The only thing is, it's going to be her getting caught with a big red face.
Why shouldn't I be angry? I'm not a 2-year-old. You should have told me.
I didn't want to worry you.
Oh, ignorance is bliss?
Yeah, something like that.
Why the corrective services?
One of the things I liked about the Navy was the discipline. Knowing where I stand and what's expected of me. I thought about the police force, but in the end it was you who tipped the scales for me. As a kid, I was always jealous of the amount of time you and Dad used to spend at the prison. I'd finally woken up that it was because I realised how important it was to both of you. I was admiring you at the same time as fighting you.
I didn't know that.
I guess I was just never mature enough to admit it, not even to myself.
Marty, you know what happened to your father. Now, are you sure that deep down you're just not trying to, oh, I don't know, avenge his death somehow? I mean, a prison officer can't afford...
Positive. It's taken me a long time, but I've finally come to terms with his death. Sure, I used to dream about going in and paying back the prisoners who killed him. But now I think differently. I know that would be letting the both of you down. I mean, the whole idea is to rehabilitate them, not harden them, isn't it?
You've really given this a lot of thought, haven't you?
Yeah. And I think I've made the right choice.
I want you to promise me one thing.
What?
That you'll come and talk to me again after you've done your in-service training. I think you might feel a little differently after you've had to deal with some of these people.
That's another thing I had to tell you, Mum. I'm doing my in-service training at Wentworth.
Your blood's worth bottling. I didn't think you could do it.
Oh, thanks a bunch. Hey, when do I get to find out what they're for?
Oh, tomorrow, and you'll die laughing when you do, eh?
I might as well. I don't think I'll ever dance again.
Tomorrow you will.
Someone's up to no good.
Bloody hell, Williams, get out of here.
That's not too friendly. Oh, what's with the springs?
None of your business now. Rack off!
Oh, I reckon you need a mate to keep Nit. You wouldn't
If
want
Lexi
needed anyone to keep Nick, you'd be last on the list. Now, take a walk.
Watch you pushing around, Connors. I might just take a walk to the nearest screw.
You do that, it'll be a bloody long time before you ever walk again. You get my drift?
All right. But you're going to be real sorry you pushed me around, Connors.
How much does she know?
She saw the springs.
What the bloody hell were they doing out where she could see them anyway?
Well, Lorna had just dropped them off, and I do not have eyes in the back of my head.
I thought I told you to keep everything out of sight till I got back from the loo.
Are we going to go after her or what?
Yeah, she knows what happens to laggers. Let's get on with it.
How are the inmates going to know that Meg Morris and Marty Jackson are related?
Prison grapevines are like the FBI, ASIO and the KGB all rolled into one. Oh, it wouldn't take them long.
All right, so they find out. What can they do apart from rag us now and then?
Well, supposing you were on duty and one of the inmates came running up to you and said your mother was involved in an accident, now what would you do? And that's just off the top of my head. Oh, you can bet your bottom dollar they'd find plenty of other ways to turn it to their advantage.
I've got a lot to learn, haven't I?
Yes, you have. And not just about how to handle the inmates. You and I are very similar in a lot of respects. I don't want to see you give everything you've got to this job, as I know you will, and then turn bitter because things don't fall the right way for you.
Losing the deputy governorship hurt you a lot, didn't it?
Yes, it did.
And this is one extra hassle at work you don't need right at the moment.
Well, that's not your fault.
Could have fooled me.
Oh, come on, stop feeling sorry for yourself. I've done enough of that for the pair of us lately.
True. And it's about time it stopped. Tonight it's going to be different. I'm taking you to dinner at a restaurant of your choice. What do you say?
You're on.
Great.
Marty. Thanks.
What for?
For turning up when I needed you.
That's what kids are for, eh?
That's true.
Hey, Merle, I've got a bit of a problem and I don't know what to do about it. Thought you might be able to help me. What is it? Rita Connors just pushed me around because I caught her with a secret weapon she's planning to use on Kath.
Hey?
Yeah, and I don't know how to get it off her. But if I don't, she's going to use it to hurt Kath.
No way, she's not going to hurt Kath. You tell me where she is and I'll get it.
She's in Lexi's cell with it. Hey, hang on. You don't know what it looks like, do you?
Oh, no, what's it look like? One of them laser ones.
Not exactly. And she's got two of them, not just one.
Two?
Yeah. And it's about this long, and it's curly like this, and made out of wire.
Oh, right.
But you better hurry, because Rita and Lexi are really after Kath, and they're going to hurt her real bad if you don't stop them.
I'll get him. I'll get him. Curly and this long, made of wire.
Alan's decision to run away to Perth was the last straw. I know I'll never be able to forgive him. I don't suppose a divorce will really matter, though. There's been no future for our marriage since the day little Linda died. I can't thank you enough for what you've done for me, Bob, especially with the women in here. They're treating me with more respect now, so you needn't worry.
Run and call him while it's long. I'll rip him.
What's going on? Connors is going to find out she can't go pushing people around all the time, bitch.
You were using milk. Damn you, Janet, what the hell did you tell her? Where's she going?
Jeez. Oh, bugger it! I'm not a bloody octopus. Come and give us a hand.
All right. Don't get your knickers in a knot.
All right. You take that.
Long made of wire.
What are
you giving to me now?
What gives?
The secret weapons you're giving me. I know what you're going to do with them.
Secret weapons,
Yeah, they're this long and curly like this and made of wire. You give them me now. Don't you like for all? Thank you. Now you give them to me.
Ma! Come down and let me explain.
No, you keep out of the way, Kath. They're going to hurt you with the secret weapons.
There are no secret weapons. That was just a joke. Show her, Rita.
It's not a joke. Janet told me they're going to hurt you with the secret weapons.
Please.
You stay out of the road, Kath. I don't want you getting hurt in the fight.
All right, Merle, we'll show you.
Lexi.
Come on, it's just a bloody...
Show her.
See, Janet just got mixed up because Rita and I were playing a little joke on her. See, they're not secret weapons. They're just springs.
Oh, yeah. They don't look like none of them secret weapons in me comics.
They're Lexi's and Rita's, so you give them back and we'll find something else to occupy us. Thanks. I'll take care of Williams. Come on, Merle.
You sure tricked Janet good, didn't you?
Yes, we did, but you shouldn't have lost your temper like that. If Mrs. Reynolds had caught you, she might have sent you away. We wouldn't want that to happen.
No.
I'm sorry.
What'd you go off at me in front of them for?
Because I reckon she was for real about Merle.
Pull, it was just a trick to find out what the springs were for.
No way. I reckon she was real worried about the ox getting into strife.
Yeah, sure. Look, you gonna give me a hand or what?
What?
All right, put them together.
Crown me. I think I should have settled for snakes and ladders. This is getting monotonous.
You watch the cartoons while I have a chat to Janet, all right?
Yeah, they sure tricked you good. It wasn't a secret weapon. Ah! Oh,
You all right?
yeah, well, what
I
happened?
think the chair's broken. Try one of the others.
Oh, yeah, thanks. I don't want to miss the funnies on tally.
That was a damn stupid thing to do.
It was a perfect setup and you should have left it alone. Jonesy would have torn them apart.
You try using Merle like that again and you're on your own.
What do you mean?
I mean, I've got enough of the girls on side now to get along without you if I have to.
Yeah, and if I didn't have a partner, I wouldn't have to be so careful keeping quiet about certain secrets.
Miss Ferguson's going to be very upset when she hears that.
You wouldn't tell her. If she thought I'd lag on her, she'd kill me.
I think she probably would.
Look, don't tell her. I didn't mean it. Look, I promise I won't say anything to anyone or try and set up Jonesy.
That's one promise you better keep.
My, someone's not too happy. At least while they're bickering, they can't get up to mischief. Crown me. Not again.
What have you got for me?
Well, I'm not really sure, except that Connors has got a couple of springs.
Springs?
Doesn't make any sense to me either. I think she got them from one of the chairs in the rec room.
Nothing else?
Not that I know of.
All right, let me know if you find out anything.
What happens if she puts that bikie gang onto you?
How much do you know about that?
Enough to know that it's a problem. If Connors stays and that bikie gang gets to you, it leaves me in a very awkward position.
You are learning, aren't you? You needn't worry. She'll be transferred. And as far as her bikie friends are concerned, it'll be the governor who signs the papers, not me. I'm just a diligent officer doing my job.
Don't think you can pull the wool over my eyes because I'm a trainee, Dunstan. Dig. So she shrugged and started digging up the roots of this creeper.
And in the meantime, you're standing there thinking how wonderful this is going to look on your service record.
Exactly. Anyway, she dug out about half of this poor thing when all of a sudden I heard this funny choking sound behind me. I looked around and there was the governor demanding to know what the hell was going on. Well, I explained to him that I'd overheard that there was a cache of drugs hidden there. He just looked at me and said, "I hope for your sake there is," and walked away.
No drugs.
No drugs. Well, I wondered why he kept giving me these funny looks. Afterwards, I found out that he'd had the inmates training that creeper to grow up over his office window for the past 2 years.
Oh.
It was his pride and joy.
No. Did he ever...
Marty, what's the matter?
Excuse me. I'll be back in a minute.
Well, looks like you're going to have to leave the Australian Open until next year, mate.
Yeah, this keeps up, I'll sell my clubs. Have a look, will you? I'm obviously doing something wrong.
Ah, come on, have another go, and this time keep the elbow in.
Elbow? That's it. That's what I was doing last year. How the hell could I forget that?
Terrific.
Fantastic. Lady, you just earned yourself a drink.
Oh, I'll go right along with that. In fact, I'll pour. You've unpacked these.
Is this dinner?
No, just a few nibbles. I felt like celebrating, so I stopped off at the deli on the way home.
Pickled squid? Pumpernickel?
You don't have to eat it.
And I suppose you got the taxi to wait outside while you bought all this?
Yes, sir. I must admit, sir, I did, sir.
Well, you've got to admit it's crazy. The hours you keep, you ought to have your own car.
I don't want a car.
Save a fortune on taxi fares.
I can't drive.
I'll teach you.
Oh, no, thank you.
Why not?
Because we'll be throwing things at each other in 5 minutes.
Nonsense. Good-natured bloke like me.
No. I'll think about it. Okay?
Done. Now, what are we celebrating? Promotion? Pay rise or something?
Oh, you never know. Yours truly discovered an escape plot for tomorrow morning.
Hell, that's big. Should look good on your record.
Won't do any harm.
Well, then, here's to driving lessons and promotion.
Promotion.
Keep it down, will you? We're going to get sprung.
Yeah, just like the freak tomorrow.
Shut up. Oh, I'm so disappointed. I'm going to miss it all.
Oh, I think it's just as well that Sister Hall's going to check you out in the morning. You've done far too much today as it is.
Yeah, and you wouldn't be much use to us anyway with your bung arm.
I could keep Ned.
Oh, Ida will look after that for us.
Oh, bloody hell, does she have to?
Well, you're going to need someone to cover for you while you're getting this from here to the kitchen and then outside, and Ida's the best bull artist in here.
Oh, I suppose so.
But then we've got to get it from the dump master to the fence without it being seen. I mean, there are so many areas where it can all go wrong.
We can't afford to let this scam go wrong, kids. I'm counting on all of you.
We won't let you down, Ree.
Oh, no way. We're going to make sure the freak starts her day with a real big bang.
He used to give me roses. I wish he could again. But that was on the outside. and things were different then.